Okay, so we are here again. So I was so excited with my speech, I have lost in my thoughts for a moment. Just wondering, can you hear me loud and clear? I know I can't hear you guys saying yes, but unless you are here with us, okay, there are some people say yes, can. Okay, good. Just comment in the chat box saying that you guys can hear me loud and clear, because we are soon to bring in the amazing, awesome, 5 times, 10 times, no, 100,000 times awesome guest speaker in for today's topic. Okay, so are you guys ready for them? Please give us a thumbs up. So, and we have a physical audience here. Are you guys ready for the guest speaker? Okay, thank you very much for the response. Okay, so the guest speaker for today, ting, 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 we prepare a special clip for you. So let's watch the clip and I will welcome her onto the stage. Let's welcome Vishnu Priya, the CEO and founder of Preceptor Empire ACCA at Home. Give us a round of applause. Hello, Vishnu.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, please give feedback. Can you guys hear her? I think can. Okay, so Vishnu, apa kabar?
I'm good.
So Vishnu been watching me doing the introduction of since just now, right in front of, across of me actually, waiting for her cue to come in. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Most welcome.
How was your day today?
Today, I went for a shopping. So,
let's listen to some juicy shopping story first.
So that is why I'm a bit tired, because it was so much of walking here and there. So I am going somewhere, so I needed to do the shopping for that. So yeah.
That's good.
It.
That's good.
We don't want to go there.
I wanted to pry it more in, but let's come back to the topic of the talk show for today, which is focus your thoughts and achieving your goals. So Vishnu, in our pre-interview, there's many questions that was heading your way, and there is certain questions that we get from the Google form which we haven't asked you yet, and that's why. And I will pick it up and ask you here, here at this show, talk show. And for those who are who just joined in, you can say hi to us. Hi Tilaga. Hi Kati Ravan. Hi Hui Ting. You can just say hi to us, and if you have any question, you can always drop in the chat box and just let us know what is it that you want us to ask our guest speaker over here. So, first question I want to ask you, Vishnu.
Yes.
Do you like the video we prepared for you or not?
I did like the video.
Oh, so good. It's actually prepared by one of our ETU members, actually, Hajas. So she stalked you a lot. So this is what we do when you want to feature a speaker. You go on and stalk somebody so much. We find out about them, what do you do, and things like that. Not enough. We keep asking you until you meet us for a pre-interview. Okay, not to scare any potential guest speaker away. It's just that because we're so fascinated with your story and we want to feature it more. That's the reason why we're doing all of this. Okay, we'll pass it to you if you want to upload anywhere. Go ahead, please. Do tag us. Okay. Vishnu, can we start with first and foremost, how do you? We have seen in the video itself, the video that talking about how you are actually a silver partner at ACCA, and you also has this wonderful achievement. Within 3 years, have already taught 120 students, physical and also online. Is it?
Yeah.
Physical and mixed online lah, which is amazing. And other than that, you also has has this very impact. The highlight of it, I always like to highlight your achievement. One of it is actually you settle a 50,000 debt, which within 14 months only. That is less than 2 years, and it was supposed to be scheduled for 20 years. And that is a study loan, right?
Yeah.
So it's amazing for us to go into all of this story. But before we begin all this story, can you tell us a little bit of your story of how you become the founder and CEO of Preceptor Empire? How come?
Okay.
How do you get to where you are today, doing teaching ACCA and also being an accountant?
Okay. That's a long story.
We have time, no worries.
Probably I'll try to cut it short a bit. Okay. So I think, to be very honest, I didn't. If you ask me when I was in my Form 3, would you have choose accounting as your career? My answer would have been no, because I hated accounts. Literally, yes, I hated accounts because I think now we no longer have the subject called Kemahiran Hidup in schools. But when I was studying, there's a subject called Kemahiran Hidup, and there's usually different aliran to that particular subject. So I was actually in the, I think if I'm not mistaken, Perdagangan, I'm not sure. So basically that's the aliran where there's one particular chapter where you will study about accounts. So because of that particular chapter, I hated that whole paper. So that's how much I hated accounts. So I didn't like it because, like, no matter how much I study, I don't understand, like, why do you put the T account, what is this, what is debit, what is credit, and all those things. So and that's also the reason why when I went into my Form 4 and Form 5, I didn't actually choose accounts as an additional subject. I remember, I think my whole class, I was in science stream, so my whole class actually chose accounts as an additional subject. So there was only me and few other students who didn't take accounts because we didn't want to go into that part at all. So from being there, and after finishing my SPM and all, I did get good grades and all those things. So my parents wanted me to go into the science stream and all those things, continue in that area and all. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I was very sure that I don't want to do anything with regards to science subjects or science stream. So no doctor, nothing and all. So but at the same time, I think even without us realizing, we are already in a system where, like, you finish SPM, you must go to college. After that, you need to do certain things and all. So that's the same thing happened to me. Even though I was not sure what I wanted to do and all, I just went into accounts purely because my friends actually went into accounts. So I'm like, rather than going alone and stucking somewhere and all those things, at least I go with my friends, and at least I would have enjoyed being with them and all. So that was the whole reason. I know it's very stupid reason for actually continuing a college and all those things, but that's what really happened, because I didn't know what to do. At the same time, I didn't want to, like, not do anything, because there was people who asking me what you want to do and all, and that's
the
how
social pressure itself.
Yes, so that's how I went into accounts. It's purely because I just wanted to follow my friends. And but on the other hand, I'm actually a kind of student where even though I don't like the subject or whatsoever, I will still do my best to basically score in that subject. So that's the kind of student I am. So that's why when I went into diploma, I continued my degree and all those things. I did my level best to basically score well. The reason is being because of the PTPTN loan. because if you want to continue get the loan, you need to maintain your CGPA certain level. So I think my diploma was 3.9, so it was always about 3.8, 3.9 and all those things.
That's amazing.
But if you ask me, like after finishing diploma, degree and all those things, to be very honest, I was still not sure what I wanted to do. So I think things changed when I actually started my internship.
Okay.
So when I went into internship and when I had that experience, like generally while studying, I liked the subject called tax. So I liked studying about tax because my lecturer was very good in basically explaining about tax and everything. So he has a lot of experience, working in the actual tax department, and also usually he will share his experience more than just following the syllabus. So that caught me, got my attention, and then I liked studying tax more and things like that. And that's why internship also I actually applied under a tax department. I got into the tax department and all, and it was quite a big firm. It's one of the big four accounting firm. So I went in there. Everything seems okay, but I think things started hitting when when I needed to work like a very long hours. So I didn't know that's how the life is when you are working 9 to 5 and all.
Zeng,
So
zeng. Welcome on board.
so for me, it's like even internship is it's like I still remember the very first day, like not the first day, but the very first time, like your work finishes at 5, around 5:36. When you get up from your table, everybody stares at you. I'm like, you mean you're going back at 6 o'clock? I'm like, why can't I? So it's like, and because of that, the pressure around people, I started like staying longer and longer at workplace. Even though I don't know what am I doing, I just stayed longer. And I'll start working, and by the time I come back home, it's like 9 p.m., 9:30, and the next day I need to go to work. So I realized that even though tax is something that I like, and it's the company that I wanted to, work and all those things, everything was perfect. But this is not the lifestyle that I wanted. So that's where I was looking into like what can I do and all. And fast forward, basically, I went back to my, my tuition teachers who I've known them since like I think standard 4. So anything I'll usually share with them, and that's how I actually spoke to them and all, and they introduced me to Ascendance actually. So we used to have the Ascendance used to have weekly talks. So I joined one of the weekly talks, and eventually I started coming for all the events that will happen physically. So I'll just join all the events. And fast forward, there's one time I joined BRBS, and that's how basically everything changed. And I still remember after BRBS also asked me like, what do you want to do? And I told her I want to do teaching. So she told me, okay, what do you want to teach? And as like a typical thing, I started off with maybe I can teach maths and those kind of things. And also she's like, okay, try. So again, I went back to my tuition teachers, and then I told them, can I can you give me one class that I can start teaching and all? And that's how it started. And eventually I realized that okay, I like teaching, but not really this mathematics, primary or secondary school students and all. And then Vasla asked me, so what else you want to do, and things like that. And that's how ACCA thing started.
Very interesting.
So I'll stop here.
So cute. Okay. The thing that I love about your story is, right, you never stop trying, That's why I really love it. And you have an idea and you know what you want. You're very clear. Okay. I feel you're very clear. From your side, I feel you're very clear. You kind of know what you want and what you don't want. And what do you do next after that? You take that action to go ahead and see, oh, I don't really want to do this. Maybe I want to teach. So you go and, or I don't really want to have like internship, this internship lifestyle. So you go and speak with your tuition teacher.
Yeah.
So tuition teacher is her tuition teacher is actually ET Ideas Associates too.
Yeah.
They are from PTSM, Pusat Tuition Stream Makmur. So if you PTSM tuition teacher, I think currently in tuition. So we yes, because we have tuition at night. But if they are watching this, please say hi to us. Your anak murid is here. alumni. So sorry. Basically, the thing that I always found fascinating about you, Vishnu, is every time I log on to social media, and what I found is like, I don't know, is this envy or is this is this just fascination of your constant posting of class is full, class is full, class is full, class is full. So I'm like, how do you do that? And how many students in one class?
Usually it has changed over the years. So normally, like for ACCA, it's there's usually 4 semesters in a year. So each semester is about I'll take about 10 to 15 students, and then that's one thing. I usually don't take many because I had my own reasons of why I wanted to basically teach in that manner. So basically ACCA is a UK based paper, and to be very honest, I'm not the only one teaching ACCA.
Okay.
There are big colleges that actually teach ACCA and all. But even in my course when I was studying, right, one of the thing I noticed is that why I had the thought of I want to teach ACCA. Why I had that thought is mainly because while I was doing my diploma and degree and all, I actually used to teach my friends.
Okay.
So I think this is a common thing that many people do. Teaching your friends, doing group study and all those things. It's a very common thing.
Pretend teacher.
Yes. So, but what was different for me is that this group of friends that I teach are not the kind of friends who will attend lectures and then focus in class,
Yeah.
do their tutorials. They are not that kind of friends.
Okay.
So they are friends who will ponting the lecture. So they are friends who will sleep in the class. So these were the group of friends that I was teaching.
Okay.
So generally, I don't blame the lecturer because in a class there's about 400 of us, and it's a huge lecture hall. So it is not easy for the lecturer to come and check like everybody is studying and all those things. And it's like you cannot blame either party. You can't blame the lecturer, you can't blame the student as well, because sometimes they just feel boring. It's too long of a lecture hours and all. So that's why for me I was like when I started teaching my friends and all those things, one thing I understand is that they are actually not stupid, and they are not it's not that they can't understand and all those things. It's just that they just need someone to basically make sure they actually study and they understand things, and maybe elaborate to them in a different way with simple examples and all those things. So when I do that, like all of them, from they don't really attend the classes and all those things, but when it comes to exam, all of them will actually pass the exam. And passing not means border pass. They will score like B plus, A, or like a very high CGPA.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
all. So my other classmates will be looking into like, these people all don't really focus in class. How come when it comes to exam you guys pass the exam? So like I had that, that when they pass, I had that feeling like, what, it's a good feeling that because of you someone actually benefited kind of thing. So that's how I, like, when Valsa asked me what else you can teach, that's why the next thing pop up in my mind was actually ACCA.
Wow.
So that's how I started teaching ACCA.
Okay.
And then eventually, like, I just stick to I just want 10 to 15 students in a class, because I can it's not about the volume of the people that I take, it's about what I actually provide them. So if I take this 10 to 15, I can actually focus my time. I can make sure they pass the exam and all those things. But if I take too many students, then it will be the same problem that I faced when I was studying. So usually that's one thing that I do. Another thing is the Get Real with Accounts workshop. So
Okay, I'm going to pause you
Yes.
first because I want to say congratulations first for being awarded Silver Award in ACCA Silver Partner.
Yes.
Tongue twisted. So congratulations, guys. This is actually a huge thing. Why? It's because like how Vishnu mentioned earlier, ACCA is actually taught by big university, big institution like Sunway, like Monash. These are the big universities, big colleges or institution. And Preceptor Empire, which is actually run by Vishnu herself, the CEO herself, actually got awarded Silver Partner. This is huge. But Sunway, Monash, and Preceptor Empire, this is huge, man. And I love how much you found the niche, the people that you can teach, that special talent that you have. You know, and teach them how to achieve a better result in their studies and helping them to understand better. You just need that 10, 15 people. And it's just amazing. But I also wanted to show you another thing.
Yes.
I wanted to show you how my mind's picture when I saw you closing Get Real with account, closing ACCA. So I have a 3 seconds clip. So this is what popping up. Okay, maybe I can show you right here. Can you please pull up the one? That way. So basically, each time I open my social media, it's just class is full, ACCA is full, Get Real is full. So can you tell us a little bit of the Get Real with account? What do you do there? And I saw some games thing that you do there in a very interesting way. And then I will ask you the next question, which is our audience here has been asking question. Hello guys, please answer the question. Okay, we'll come back to you shortly. Hi,
Oh my
Haziq.
God.
Okay, so can you
So,
continue?
I think Get Real with Accounts is something that started because of the ACCA classes. Because I think my mentor was telling when I first started teaching ACCA and not, and first I started getting students. I started getting the hang of it first. So once it has been, once it became a habit pattern to actually get students, start teaching students and all, then my mentor was telling like, look at what else can you do? How can you add value to the students and all those things? And that's where they were suggesting like, what if, there's something that they can do, like they basically asked me questions to make me think. So they were like, what do you think that you wished you had when you were studying and all those things? So one of the thing was basically the practical part of it. Like even when I love tax so much, but when I went and worked in the tax department and all those things, I wouldn't say I don't like the job or what. It was actually pretty interesting. Because I get to be investigator. So basically it was
Ada gaya.
so it was like I actually liked the job, but I didn't know that this kind of job exists when I actually studied in college. Because when I studied in college, my idea was, oh, I will do tax com for people, I'll do the calculation and all those things. But when I went in there doing the work, I understand actually doing the calculation is not really a big thing, because it is all pre-populated in Excel sheet. So all you need to do is just go and put the number, the Excel sheet will calculate for you. So our job is what happens before that, like how do you get the number? That's the thing. So it was I would say it was interesting, and it started making more sense on, oh, whatever we studied, okay, this is how you actually apply it. But one of the thing I noticed when I was teaching ACCA students is that sometimes their basic itself is not strong. And because of that, because they don't have that experience, so even in the class when I share my experience and all those things, for them it is more of like a story that they are listening to, which they will be excited, they will remember, but after that they will forget one.
I saw one of your posts saying that your class is like watching Netflix.
Yes. Yes. Because I like to share stories. So this was what a student from Russia actually. So she was basically, I was explaining to her everything, and then I told her, okay, let's take a 10 minutes break. Then she's like, why you have to give a break now? It's like a Netflix series. You stop halfway and then now you give. So I was like, then only the class will be interesting. So So like I'll just find ways and means on how to make it interesting. So basic and get real with accounts was something that I do with Simply Empowering. So it's not something I do myself, because I actually started off also from Simply Empowering. Joyce guided me with doing the freelance accounts and all. And
Just for context, Simply Empowering is actually part of ET Ideas Associates too, a company that is built together with ET Ideas.
yes, basically Simply Empowering. In Simply Empowering, we offer outsource accounting. We do basically business advisory, those kind of things, and Get Real is one of it. So that's how we came up with an idea of what if we give them the practical exposure. Like whatever you study, if you know your basic well, you will be able to understand actually why is debit, why is credit, why are we doing this thing in the first place and all. And that's how Get Real started. And eventually I think the idea was for students to join, but when I started marketing I realized even working adults were interested about the workshop. And for me it was like, you're already working, why would you want practical experience? Then that's where I realized that like many people, they do work, but they only work on one area of accounts. There's so much more to accounts which people usually don't know, and they find Get Real is interesting, and that's how basically Get Real started. And because ACCA is Get Real is a slightly different from ACCA, because ACCA is, I do mostly either one-to-one class or in a smaller group. So it's like 3 or 4 people max in a group.
Okay.
But Get Real is a huge group of audience, and sometimes to engage them, that's how we came up with the ideas of using games Kahoot, all these different things that will actually make them interesting, even though they are adults. But the moment you put up a game and you put competition for it, you have no idea.
It doesn't sound like an normal accounting class anymore. It sounds like a game class now.
So they will start fighting. So they were literally, there was once we played a game in the class where it's based on point basis, and you need to split them into group. So, and the game has like, basically you need to pick the numbers. There will be question, you need to answer the question, but certain numbers that you pick wouldn't have a question. It will have like a 2 times points increase, or marks deduction, so it will have those kind of things. So the moment like they start picking that thing, you will see they will start fighting. I'm like, cannot, I can, why should I let go of my marks? So they will start fighting and all. So it is interesting. Even adults, like they like these kind of things, because it's also a way for them to actually relieve their stress. I feel, because most of my ACCA students are also working adults, so they work full time, and ACCA is something they are doing on a part-time basis. So it is not easy, to be very honest, to juggle all these things and all, because some of them are married, they have kids and all, but they still want to complete their papers. So for them, I feel like when they come to the class, it's something they should be excited that, oh, I have a class today, it's going to be interesting. Not something like, oh, I need to attend class today. So it's the feeling that they should have, so that's also the reason why I was like, okay, let's introduce these games and all those things. Let's make them, have some fun during the class, and also that's how it started.
That's very interesting actually. But I'm gonna take a question from the audience. It's Hazik. Hi Hazik. Okay, Hazik say
Hello,
congratulations to Vishnu. I think he's referring to the silver partner with ACCA. And Hazik just asking actually, how do you be confident with your choices? Like, because sometimes we might overthink of our consequence of our choice. I think this one has we have a story to share about this.
Do I have?
You do. Actually, if you don't, I can give you some clue that you can share the story. So, what would you say about this question?
Okay. What is the clue again? I have no idea which story is it. I shared a lot of things, but I don't know which one is it.
Okay, basically, I think this one has to do with. Can you share the story about, when a student call you, a potential student that call you and say something very interesting about how do you, if I if I fail, can you let me access to more of your video, or can you
Yeah.
help me to
Yeah.
what is it, or can you do the tuition together with me again, or something like that. In
Okay.
our pre-interview or previously having a few conversations with you, I heard stories like this, and
Yeah.
I love how you handled it, because you actually talks about the thoughts,
Yeah.
actually focusing your thoughts and
I
what do
think
you want.
Hazik's question was like, how do you be confident about your choices
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
those
yeah.
things, right?
And not
So,
have so many thoughts of the consequence that comes with it.
okay. So I feel like this one I would share like what happened to me when I decided that I don't want a 9 to 5 job.
Oh, okay.
So because I went into internship, and to be very honest, all these decisions that I made, it was actually my decision. Studying accounts because my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and I told them I don't want anything to do with hospital and clinic. So I'm not going to go that part at all.
Okay.
So to be very honest, my mom was a bit upset because I'm basically the eldest child, and I'm also the first grandchild in my
Yeah.
family and all.
And until she's doing very well.
There is no, there's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
So basically, because you have been always a top scoring student, and there's
Yeah.
always an expectation that you need to set an expectation for the other, the next generation to basically follow through and all those things. So when I actually decided not to do accounts and all those things, I know they were not happy, but they didn't stop me, because I was very, very, how to say, sure that I didn't want to basically do anything to do with science. And even when they were like, okay, if you want to do other things, what else you want to do? So they actually told me, go and do STPM. Go and do STPM and all. And again, I was very sure I don't want to do SPM, because I was like, even if I do STPM, I'm not sure what course am I going to get after I spend my 1.5 years in STPM and all. And I've heard many stories of what happens. So I'm like, no, I don't think so. That's what I want to do. I finished my form 5. I don't want to go back to school again. Why would I want to do that again? So to be very honest, I was not sure exactly what I was doing. I won't say, oh, I know everything. I figured out everything and all. But it's just for me, it's like, if let's say I didn't do that, right, that regret will be there forever, that at least I should have tried. And I will start blaming my parents that, because of them I didn't try this, because of them I didn't do this, when the actual problem is not them, it's you. So that's where I was like, I need to be confident enough in whatever decision I am taking, whatever the consequences may be. It's not that you always take a good decision. Sometimes you end up in a bad decision as well, but it's just that you learn from it and then you move on. That's how I look at it. So like, I did went into accounts. I did my diploma, I did my degree, I took a PTPTN loan and all those things. And like, taking a loan for studies, I would say it was not really a good decision, but I chose that. So and eventually, when I told my parents I don't want a 9 to 5 job, I want to do something else. Especially my mother was very pissed off, because she was like, uh, what else you want to do? So I told her I want to do teaching, and she was even more pissed, because she was like, teacher all cannot make money. so that's what she told me. Teacher all cannot make money. And then why would you want to study as a teacher and all those things, and things like that. But I told her this, that give me 1 year, let me try. If let's say it doesn't work out, then I will look at what else I want to do. And in that 1 year, I think after the 1 year passed, my mother didn't come and ask me anything, because she saw how am I doing and all those things, and then she was very happy. But even until now, right, if let's say anybody I still remember this conversation happened exactly like 1.5 months ago, when I went to visit my parents. So my mom was telling that my younger sister's friend, actually studied for teaching and all those things,
Mm.
and then now she's unemployed. She couldn't get a job as a teacher and things like that.
Mhm.
And even if she go for teachers, most probably they will put her in, some school in Terengganu, Kelantan and all those things. This is why I tell people, don't study for teacher all cannot make money. Then I told my mom, you know that I'm a teacher. So then it's like, you are different. I'm like, I'm also a teacher, that's not different. So it's like, so for her that mindset hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But she just, after that, she just believed in me that I can take care of myself. So whatever decision I make, I actually know what am I doing and all those things. And that trust came, it's because I actually followed my decision. I followed my heart, and then I stayed strong in what I want to do. So for me, it's just a thing that if you didn't do it, then you will start blaming other people lah. It's
Yeah.
because of them I didn't get to do this and all those things, when, as I said, when the actual problem is not them, it's you.
Yeah. Speaking about these, actually, as how other of my team members stalk you a lot, I stalk you a lot too on social media. So I have something that I saw. What can you do differently that you posted? And I compiled those posts together. And I
Can I
found-
post?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm gonna bring it up right now. So what can I do
Okay.
differently? And I saw what you have put. Actually, number one is set a goal. Number two, take action. Number three, have fun. Actually, there's a picture of you next to it, but I wanted to compile
It's okay.
everything together. Can you tell us how do you manage to convince your mom and also follow through with your actions, follow through with your ideas, follow through with your goals? I don't know if any of this posting is related or not, but I'm just going to bring up because I just love it so much.
I think this is something that I did for my students, basically. So I feel like, as I said, since I'm teaching working adults, right? So their full-time job is not studying.
Yeah.
They have a full-time job which is not studying, which is actually doing a job and all those things.
Yeah.
And it is not easy for them to actually, sit for the exam, basically study for the exam and all. So ACCA, I know it's an exam. It's like every other exam. It's not something that is impossible for you to pass and things like that. But I think all of us know that if you do the right thing, you will basically pass. So that is the problem with a lot of them. Like they really want to basically pass the exam and all, but they will join the class, but they are just not focused. It's like there's a difference between, I think, setting a goal and wishing for something. So it's always a wishful thing. Oh, it would be nice if I pass the paper. But it is not an actual goal that, oh, I actually really want this kind of thing. So like when I spoke to my parents that I want to do something, teaching and all those things, I told them this is actually what I want to do. And I told them that I will start from this thing, which is basically starting with my tuition teachers and all those things. And they know my tuition teachers very well. So they were like, okay, if you are with them, so probably it will be a good thing, and they will also take care and things like that. So it's like, if you set a goal but you don't want to take any action towards that goal, then definitely you cannot convince anyone around you that you will actually achieve that goal. So that's why when I do my classes and all those things, the first thing I'll do in my class is to actually ask them to set a goal. A goal of what I want. So definitely their goal is to pass the exam. Nobody set a goal to fail the exam. So definitely it's to pass the exam.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, because they are very busy in other things, they tend to actually forget this goal. It's not a priority. As I
Yeah.
said, it's a wish. It will be nice if I can clear the paper and all those things. So, and that's where I will just keep reminding them that the goal that you set, yes, you set a goal now already. The next thing is basically your thoughts, words and action. Your thoughts, words and action needs to be aligned to that particular goal that you want to achieve. So if you are telling me you want to pass the exam but you are not doing any past year, you are not coming for the classes and all those things, then it means you are not aligned to the goal. So like there are times where I have told my students, some of my students, that if you continue doing this, you will actually end up failing the paper. And like for some students I need to tell this so that they will feel like, why did you tell me like that? So then they will start taking some action. So different students are different, but one of the thing is like, I think I shared this story earlier as well. One of the student that I teach before, she basically took a paper with me and she have failed that particular paper 10 times before. So when she took the class with me, when I start teaching her and all, to be very honest, I don't see any problem with her, because whatever question I ask her, she'll answer the question. And whatever past year I give, she will exactly write the answer like how it was in the suggested answer. So which means she actually knows everything A to Z. So then I was like, then why did you take the classes with me? Because you know everything already. What am I supposed to do? So that's where, like, when I start having conversation with her and all those things, it's basically the fear. It's too much of fear, because like when I asked this question, the answer she gave me was, when I'm in the class, I can do it, but when I go to exam, I just cannot remember anything. I'll forget everything and things like that, and I will always end up failing and things like that. So it was basically her own mindset, and it's also because of the people around her started telling, like, why are you still continuing ACCA and all, because you are still in the early paper. If you want, you can just drop it off rather than paying for this every time and all those things. So it started affecting her. At one point of time, she feels like, you know what, uh, I don't think so I will pass. So even though another part of her, it's like, I shouldn't give up, I want to do this, but her mind is keep telling that you will end up failing. What for are you sitting for the exam and all? So that's where I basically work with them on, like, you set an end goal, and then I teach them about visualization. Every class I'll remind her, like, this is your goal, remember. If you keep telling this, then, because your thoughts, words and action needs to be aligned. If your words is keep telling, what if I fail, what if I fail and all, you will end up actually making that as a reality. So you need to decide what you want as a reality, whether you want to pass or whether you want to fail. So I don't know exactly what I did, but I did. I spoke to her. I had a lot of conversation with her, and then she actually passed the paper after that.
That's nice.
She was very happy. She came and told me, I failed this paper 10 times before this and all, and thank you so much and all those things. And until now, she is in touch with me. So I think it is as much as it's just an exam, but for a lot of people, it is just your mindset. And I feel like that is something different that I can actually provide to them, because there was a group of people who helped me, basically ET ideas. When I was lost, I don't know what I want to do and all, there were a lot of people who were guiding me in different areas, and that's why I'm here now. So for me, in the class, I saw that, only if they know about ET ideas, or only if they are part of ET ideas, they would have also benefited from it. But sometimes it's like, not everybody can join. So that's where, like, whatever that I can give back, I basically give back in these kind of things lah.
That's very beautiful. Actually, you became an environment for your students.
Yes.
So it's like, I can see the environment of your students where everybody is telling you, like, it's so tough. ACCA is so
Yes.
tough. You should drop it. You're in the early years and things
Yeah.
like that. But her heart is strong,
Yeah.
and she still wants to continue the journey. And she had you as an anchor and as an environment to help her to continue her journey. And she succeed. Good job. That's very good. Okay, this is my personal question to you, Cik. Well, there is question here. Okay, what if you have a goal? But okay, I'll come to this question shortly. Okay, maybe you take this question first, and I have a personal question that I wanted to ask you in regards to your role as a teacher.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a question from Devina over here. So she's saying that, what if you have a goal but you don't know how to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually draw a poll in our Telegram group, so you guys can click the description and under the YouTube link there, just click the description and join our Telegram group. We have a poll going on there and asking question that what is your obstacle to achieve your goals? So one of it, the question has asked is, what if you have a goal but you don't know how to get there?
I think um, one of the thing I remember my mentor told me is that you have all the resources you need around you to actually go to the next level. So it's just that whether you actually see it or not. So for me, it's like, to be very honest, when I wanted to do teaching and all those things, I had no idea where to start. But and like I think what Valsala told me is that you just find one student first. So, and that's how it started. I was like, I still remember when I wanted to find that one student, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at all the ways of how I can find the one student without, doing anything extra. So, meaning like, I think I would put it in a way that as much as I wanted to do something, and I was also comfortable wherever I am at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, because you are taken care of and everything, why would I want to do this and not?
Comfort bubble.
Yes. So as much as you want something, you are comfortable at whatever level you are. So if you want to go to the next level, you need to do something that is not really comfortable. So that, for me, it was marketing. So that was not comfortable at all. So because like I my first marketing was actually posting in social media. And when I say posting in social media, I actually created social media to post about my ACCA class, which means I don't really have any followers. So I was posting to myself.
At least you start somewhere.
So that's where, like, but I did that, and then I couldn't see any results, and that's where Vasla was telling that, who are you posting for? So it's like, because I have no social media, nothing at all. Then she was like, why not you go and talk to ETRS people? So in ETRS, there were some people who were at that point of time, they are accountants, they are doing accounts, they are working in audit firms, accounting firms and all. And I went and spoke to some of them, and that's how I actually got my first students.
Okay.
So I didn't know I can get the student from an ETRS associate. I didn't know, because in my, and that particular ETRS associate was actually Sharvin. And if you guys know Sharvin is a dancer.
Yeah.
He himself don't like to be an accountant. So I'm like, and I got the first lead from him.
Yeah.
So, and because at that point of time, he was working in an audit firm, and that's how he shared about my classes with his colleague, and that's how I got my first student. So it's not the person that I thought of to ask for help to actually get a student, because in my mind is Sharvin is a dancer, so he only know dancers. So that that is my understanding. So that's where I realized that you actually have the resources you need, and sometimes you need to do something uncomfortable if you actually want to go to the next level. And it even applies for me now, even though I'm doing the things that I like and all those things. There are certain things that I actually want to do, uh, certain things that I want to do, like it's been some time, but I've not done anything on that thing yet.
Yeah.
So again, Valsa basically told me it's because you are comfortable wherever you are, because now you don't see the point of, why do I need to do this, because my income is taken care of, everything is taken care of, why would I want to start something new now and all those things. So I feel it is, the reason is because as much as
The words are mind blown with your stories.
as much as you have a goal, you want to achieve that goal, you are also comfortable wherever you are.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you can't see where to start and all those things. So sometimes it's just the small steps that we take. Like for me, even though teaching was something that I want to do and all those things, I was actually not very sure on what I want to do in right after I joined BRFS or
Yeah.
and all, because before I joined BRFS itself, I actually attend all ETIDS events. I'll go and do, I have been supporting for many events. I'll do whatever I can and all those things. I've done accounts. I've been, I've basically helped on a travel company. I was in doing marketing some point of time for training programs and all those things. And I was one point of my life I was working with ascendants and all. So it's like I tried so many things, and that's how, like, I think if let's say if I've not went through the experience of like being a support team in an event and all those things, I wouldn't know how to basically get real with accounts now, how to actually start preparing and all those things, because it's those experience that I went through. It is still helping me in different areas. So somehow you will figure it out. It's just that, are you actually taking the effort to figure it out or not? That's the thing.
Very interesting actually. We have another just 5 more minutes actually before we end
wow.
this talk show.
That was fast.
Yeah, it's fast because it's so fun. It's really fun. And if you have any other questions, you guys can actually DM us. We are on Instagram too. You can DM us and we try to forward the question to Vishnu. And Vishnu maybe maybe will answer, maybe not. I don't know. But we will try to get her to answer your question because we want to know the answer too. Okay. But if you have last question, you can always just jot down in the text, in the chat box. And my last question to you actually, but before we go to the last question, actually I wanted to say that you have joined so many different events, different roles in ETIDS, in Ascendance also, in Ascendance International Movement, and you become you help other businesses to do marketing. You have other businesses to do accounting, and you have other businesses to set up a booth. I don't know, you do every possible thing that is offered to you, and it's amazing. And I just wanted to tell all our audience here actually, ET Youth is also supporting this NGO, which Vishnu is actually the treasurer, yes, the treasurer for the NGO called PMDK. PMDK is an NGO that supports the youngsters, especially in Ascendance. Whatever Ascendance is doing, PMDK is very much related and supporting them. You can either become a Patreon or you can always contact us through PMDK. The link we will just drop in the chat box. Contact us and see how can you get involved. What kind of events do you want to get involved? What kind of initiative would you like to get involved? We have school trip, and you want to see how school trip works, how we engage children, how we engage students. Just contact us and see how can we work it out. Okay, so that's a short marketing and advertisement for a moment, and come back to the last questions I have for you. The thing about being a teacher, right? I mean, your stories has been about guiding people, not just in accounts. You are actually guiding people about a lifestyle to set your goal and take action and have fun throughout with it. How can you do things differently? How you be an environment to your students, you be an environment to people out there, and you really follow what your mentor actually mentioned to you. And it's not easy being in your position, especially to do something that is different, which I hope we can continue the conversation. It's going to be another hour, but we will try to come back to it. It's not going to be another hour, just a few more minutes. The thing is, there is also 4 people in this room are teachers. I am a teacher too. So my question to you is, what is the most joyous thing for you to be a teacher to guide other people?
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll quickly share a story.
Yeah, okay.
So I feel like, I think about this was about 3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So a student basically called me. She was my previous student, and I think I teach her, I think 3 or 4 years back, I can't remember. So she basically called me, and then she texted me first. Are you free for a call? Can I talk to you and things like that? So I was like, okay, can. Then she called me, and then she basically spoke to me and everything, and basically she failed the paper, one of her ACCA paper, because the result came, she failed that paper. And she was basically telling that, this particular paper alone, I'm actually keep failing many times and things like that. I don't know what to do. I feel like giving up and things like that. So I just spoke to her. I just have a conversation with her. I asked her what happened and all these things and all. And eventually at the end of the call, she told me something like, she did cry on the call itself. So I just spoke to her. I told her, you know what, it's not the end kind of thing, because she's been trying to pass this paper for about 2 years now already. So and she's been trying, like, because ACCA there's 4 intakes in a year, so she's been trying like every other intake again and again, and she's keep failing. And when you fail in the border marks and all, it really gets into you. So and when she, when we wanted to basically put down the phone and all those things, she told something like, whatever that I've shared with you, I've never told anybody else before. And I've no idea why I called you after I got the results, but I feel better now. And then I think that thing that she mentioned is what actually keeps me going as a teacher, I guess.
Wow.
Because it's not about whether they pass or they fail the paper. That's something I tell them. It's not about whether you pass or fail. It's the journey that you go through while you are actually sitting for this exam. Because for some people, they will discover things about themselves on how, like, there has been students, like, they have been students who always pass the paper. They always do well. And when they fail their first ACCA paper, they feel like,
it's world end.
Yes. It's end of the world. For them, it is a huge thing for them when they fail it. So, because they have never seen failure before. So, and sometimes it's you need to accept who you are, like those kind of things. I do need to have that kind of conversation with them. And because of that, many of them, like, after many years, they do come back and things like that. And I feel like, that's the real reason why, I'm still teaching. It's not whether they pass or fail. It's these kind of things. They know that they can come back to me anytime if they are not okay. I think that's actually a good feeling. As a teacher.
That's very the whole thing, they're just mind blown with you. So you keep being blown away by that. Okay, I think that's all for our time. Actually, Vishnu, thank you so much for sharing all of the beautiful sharing, the stories and all. I hope everyone here get what you need, and those who are online, they're saying thank you to you already. Thanks, Suwaiba.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, Allah is also sending the love emoji. Okay, so thank you so much for coming, and that's all from us at ETU. Do join our Telegram group. Like I mentioned, if you have further question, you can always DM us on our Instagram. Our link is actually in the description. Follow us and look forward for the next ETU Youth Talk Show. We will be featuring a lot more different, amazing guest speaker like Vishnu Priya. So I just want to ask everyone, can you please give her a round of applause? Okay. I guess that's all from us. See you next month. Bye.
Bye.